Aaron Whitlow here. Welcome to this week's edition of Shudder and Horror, a weekly episodic program in which we look at different movies, TV shows, or documentaries that's on the Shudder streaming service to see if they are worth your time, attention, and of course, money. This week, we're going to be looking at 2019's The Haunt. On Halloween, a group of friends encounter an extreme haunted house that promises to feed on their darkest fears. The night turns deadly as they come to the terrifying realization that some nightmares are real. This movie was directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods. They are also the ones whose names is attached to The Quiet Place. And so I just want to let you know that. The movie currently has 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb. It has 71% on Rotten Tomatoes and 69% on Metacritic. Audience score for Google is 85% on Google as far as people that like this movie. Let's get into it. So, this film opens up with a young lady who has an abusive boyfriend. So the boyfriend, is throwing a pumpkin at her house. You see a set of pumpkins at this house, and it gives you a Halloween theme. You feel like you're watching Halloween. That's one thing that I really enjoyed about it. Sometimes a movie doesn't feel like Halloween. Like for instance, Halloween 1979 didn't really feel like a Halloween film in some regards. It felt like just any other night. It didn't really feel as much like Halloween. But other ones, like say Halloween 4, that actually felt like a Halloween film. You see the trick or treating and all this stuff. It felt like Halloween night. Halloween night feels busy. This felt busy in some regards. So the gang essentially goes to a get Harper and her friends. They get her to go to a Halloween party. That's where they run into and encounter the other people that's in this film, uh, Will Breton and the other guy. Anyway, so they encounter them. They go to the party and they have a good time. But from there, she keeps seeing this devil popping up everywhere, like stalking her, and she assumes it's her boyfriend. I'm not going to let you know who it is because I'm not going to spoil the movie. But they essentially end up going to a extreme haunted house, and there they encounter things that's more terrifying than they thought that they were ever would encounter. Um, it's film, so it reminded me a little bit of. All right, so there's another movie that came out. I want to say it's 2019. Hellfest. I want to say that's the name of it. That film, it tried to do a similar thing as far as like haunted house where people really get murdered, type of thing. A haunted attraction where people really get murdered is what I meant, not a haunted house. So, but uh, it fell. It fell. And there's another movie also that I want to bring up too. The Escape Room came out. I want to say it's 2019 as well. It could have been 2018, but I think 2019. Brandon will correct me if I'm wrong. So that film also had that type of element of it being real and people not realizing how real it is. But where Escape Room and Hellfest kind of fell short in their goal or aim, I feel that The Haunt actually succeeded. So The Haunt actually pulled off what it was trying to pull off, which is a haunted attraction with real life serial killers, essentially. And so, and the gore in it was great. Gore made you cringe. Felt realistic, not like hell. What is it? Hell Fest or something in there that just didn't feel. Oh, there's one part in there that was really good, but most of it just didn't really feel that way, But this feels like the movie that I wanted to see with Hellfest. This feels like the movie I wanted to see with Escape Room, and I did like Escape Room, but it was very PG-13. This is R, and rightfully so. The uh, the people that's in the house, the haunters, if you will, are great. They actually are terrifying, uh, and the movie does a great job setting up stuff and paying off things. Now, watching it two times now, second time, some things I was like, oh, I forgot that happened. But then most part, I was like, well, okay, yeah, I do remember this. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Second time around, I enjoyed it. It's something that I recommend anybody check out. So let me go ahead and give you my marks for this movie. So for The Hunt 2019, I give this movie 5 markouts out of 5. So the reason why I give it 5 is I actually enjoyed it. I didn't find anything wrong with it. I'm not critical up to a point of that it loses anything. It actually was a fun ride, and I recommend anybody watch it. It's on Shudder, and it is worth you getting Shudder just to see this alone. But anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble on about, or watching me also ramble on about this movie. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your attention. I thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And I don't have a Patreon yet, but when we get it, hey, thank you for helping. Thank you. But in the meantime and in between time, my name is Aaron Whitlow, and I thank you for marking out with me here on the Mark Out Movie Podcast.